What sort of problems can people solve with the techniques you reveal in your book?
Any mind ailment there is, people, it's like, you name it, some of the more obscure things, resentment, forgiveness, and that sort of thing. All of the big one that people don't realise, because we've all been taught about, we've covered rushing a little bit before, but we've all been taught to rush, and you have to work hard to have success. No, you don't have to work hard. I'm at work at the moment. Do I look like I'm working hard?
Yeah, I'm at work at the moment too.
You don't. The problem is it's not about. People have a negative connotation where it comes to working hard, and of course it isn't working like that. I don't work. I haven't worked a day in my life for years. It's this is my hobby. So how can it be work? So the problem is, and when you're doing your hobby and you can control, one of the problems that I used to have was overwhelm. And when you understand that the only reason you're overwhelmed is you've allowed yourself to be overwhelmed, but not just understanding it, because it's one thing to intellectually understand that. It's another thing entirely to live it as a way of life. And when you can get it to the way of life level, which is what a bug-free mind is all about, it's about taking it from the understanding level all the way up to the way of life level and live it, going past living it. It's so, once you get it to a certain level, you find that you no longer even have to think about it. At the moment you'll be reminding yourself of all the, the messages and the thought structures and all that sort of thing. Once you get it to the way of life level where you're actually living it, then all of a sudden it becomes, it's not even your default way of thinking. You just do it. You live it. It's gone past attempting to live it as a way of life, and it just happens without thought. And when you can get to the without thought level, going the right way instead of without thought going the wrong way, then your progress in life is just stellar. It's just incredible. And that's how, I was able to sit there and just go, I can teach this country. And then within a little while I was in front of royalty, so it's like, and virtually without lifting a finger, right? And that's what happens when you know how to control your mind, because the mind is all powerful. Seriously, there is nothing more powerful that we have at our disposal. These arms and legs are weak by comparison to our mind. That's it. And once you know how to control that, you master yourself. You master everybody. So don't get me wrong. That isn't a downside thing, because it's not. I teach in the thing. It's not our place to control anybody else.
Yeah, it's not manipulation. No, it's not.
Yeah, exactly. You can control yourself, and you see that everybody else is living. They're all scared, right? So if you want control, you've got it, right? But you don't need it, because you're really happy doing whatever you do, because now all of a sudden life is just so much better than it was before.
If someone wants to really up-level their standard of the quality of life, their vision of personal growth and achievement in terms of business success or family relationships or personal growth, I mean, it's phenomenal. It is transformative.
Since reading the books, I don't judge people. I don't worry about anything. I've got the techniques to, if anything comes into my mind, I think, well, that's not helping me. So I don't worry. I don't get stressed. I live in the now, and just a lot more peaceful. And I just feel that life's going the right way.
I have found out that things like stress, fear, anxiety, these things are illusions. And when situations come up in your life, if you can actually just refer back to at least learning those things that you've learned through the books, it makes your life much easier. It makes your life better, and it starts, in my case, to put me on a better path.
As everything really valuable in life, most things are really simple, and it's all about finding the things that you love to do, and the financial benefit is a byproduct of that. Yeah.
Who he is being just speaks volumes. There's a wisdom, there's a knowledge, and there's a real generous sharing of the heart that comes across that makes all the difference in the world.
So his philosophy is different to other personal development books, because he shows the practical way of personal development or his concept.
And one useful thing I've done through reading the books is to actually stop watching TV like a robot, and it's freed up time for me to do things like read books, which I think will do me far more good than just sitting in front of the TV watching a whole string of programs that I never even remember or do me any good, you know.
My mind had been shifted significantly. I understand more about a lot of things. My mind opened more, and I know for sure that by applying these techniques, I'm living my design.
I like the way he delivered it in simple language so that the lay person in it can understand.
There's a system in place that teaches, it shows us that if we, follow these steps and apply it with vigilance and commitment, it's possible to have a real powerful transformation.
Since I've read the books, my worries and fears have all gone. I am 100% happier, and I live my life to the full.
So it gives you a purpose and a sort of focus, and perhaps a start and end point, so you know exactly where you're going to. Because the hardest part of any journey is actually taking the first step.
So, yeah, I do know that it's going to change things radically on all fronts. Whatever you want can happen, actually.
Just do it. It's just to take you to that level. You'll know what you want, or if you don't know what you want, you'll know how to find out what you want. You'll know how to get the things that you want in your life, and you'll have great fun.
We can learn and understand things, but when we actually learn to know it and integrate it and apply it in what we're doing in our lives, anything is possible, and that is so exciting.